The hunt for hidden treasure might be sitting in your pocket change right now. And today we're diving into two humble pennies that have shocked collectors with jaw-dropping values. These tiny copper coins once bought candy and newspaper headlines, but in the right condition, they can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you think all wheat pennies are common, think again, because the coins in this guide have quietly become some of the most fascinating pieces in American numismatics. Let's turn back the clock, sharpen our collector instincts, and uncover what makes these wheat cents so incredibly desirable. 1945 Wheat Penny 1-cent coin. The 1945 wheat penny is one of those coins that seems ordinary at first glance, but seasoned collectors know it carries the weight of history and the potential for surprising value. Struck during the final year of World War II, this coin represents a nation on the edge of victory, and its story is deeply woven into that moment in time. The obverse features the familiar right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had already been in circulation for decades by 1945. The portrait was originally created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB appear subtly on many earlier issues. By 1945, the Lincoln cent design was already iconic, but what makes this year special is the historical context in which it was produced. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat design would only remain for a few more years before being replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial reverse, making late-date wheat cents like 1945 particularly nostalgic for collectors. The 1945 penny was produced at 3 different facilities operated by the United States Mint. These include the main mint in Philadelphia, as well as branch mints in Denver and San Francisco. Each mint produced coins with slightly different collector demand today. Philadelphia struck the largest number, with over 1.04 billion pieces minted. Because of this massive production, the 1945 penny without a mint mark is generally common in circulated condition. Most examples found in pocket change today fall into the low-value category, typically worth only a few cents above face value when worn. However, condition changes everything. In uncirculated grades, especially with strong red copper color, the value climbs significantly. A brilliant red mint state example can sell for $10 to $50 depending on grade, and superb gem pieces have reached well over $100 at auction. The Denver Mint produced approximately 266 million 1945 D pennies. These are somewhat less common than the Philadelphia issues, but still widely available. Collectors particularly seek sharply struck examples with full wheat lines and vibrant original luster. High-grade red specimens from Denver can command between $40 and $150, with top registry examples pushing even higher. San Francisco struck about 181 million 1945 cents, making it the lowest mintage of the 3 for that year. While still not considered rare in circulated condition, the 1945 becomes much more desirable in high grades. Collectors pay strong premiums for coins with clean surfaces and full red color. Premium examples have sold in the several $100 range when graded at the highest mint state levels. Now let's talk about what truly excites collectors: errors and varieties. One of the most sought-after varieties is the 1945 double die obverse, although it is much subtler than famous double dies from other years. Careful examination of the date and lettering can reveal slight doubling that advanced collectors hunt for. When authenticated, these can bring notable premiums. Off-center strikes from 1945 also attract strong attention. Depending on how dramatic the misalignment is, values can range from $50 to several hundred. Broad strikes and clipped planchet errors from this year similarly generate collector excitement. Another factor that dramatically impacts value is color designation. Wheat pennies are graded not just by wear, but by copper color: brown, red-brown, and full red. A fully red 1945 penny that has been preserved carefully since minting can be worth many times more than the same coin in brown condition. Collector interest in the 1945 wheat penny remains consistently strong for several reasons. First, it represents the closing chapter of wartime coinage. Second, it is part of the immensely popular Lincoln Wheat Cent series, one of the most widely collected U.S. coin sets. Third, the high mintage combined with condition rarity creates a perfect environment where exceptional pieces still surprise the market. In recent auction activity, Top population examples graded at the highest mint state levels have crossed the $1,000 threshold, proving that even a common wheat penny can become a serious investment when preserved in elite condition. For roll hunters and casual collectors, the 1945 penny remains one of the most fun coins to search for. While most finds will be modest in value, the possibility of discovering a sharply struck red gem or an unusual mint error keeps the excitement alive. It's exactly this mix of accessibility and hidden potential that keeps the 1945 wheat penny firmly on collector radar. 1920 wheat penny 1-cent coin. The 1920 wheat penny takes us back to a completely different America, long before the Great Depression and decades before World War II. This coin belongs to the earlier era of Lincoln wheat cents, and with age comes increased collector respect and, in many cases, significantly higher value potential. By 1920, the Lincoln cent design had been circulating for just over a decade. The obverse still featured the dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln, and the wheat reverse remained unchanged. However, coins from this earlier period tend to be harder to find in high grades because of heavier circulation and less careful saving by the public at the time. Philadelphia struck approximately 310 million 1920 pennies. While that number sounds large, survival rates in pristine condition are much lower than later wheat cents. Most 1920 coins encountered today show moderate to heavy wear. In circulated grades, a typical 1920 penny might sell for anywhere between 25 cents and a few dollars depending on condition. But the value curve rises steeply as preservation improves. Fine condition pieces often bring several dollars. Extremely fine examples can reach into the $15 to $40 range, and true uncirculated coins become dramatically more valuable. Mint State Brown examples of the 1920 penny often sell between $75 and $200 depending on grade. Red-brown pieces command stronger premiums, and full red gems can reach into the many hundreds or even over $1,000 in top registry condition. The Denver Mint produced the 1920 D with a much smaller mintage of about 49 million coins. This lower output makes the Denver issue considerably more desirable among collectors. Even in worn grades, the 1920 D typically sells for noticeably more than its Philadelphia counterpart. In very fine condition, a 1920 D might bring $40 to $80. In extremely fine, values often move into the 100+ range. Uncirculated examples, especially with strong luster, regularly sell for several $100s, and premium red pieces have reached well into four-figure territory at major auctions. The San Francisco Mint struck approximately 46 million 1920 pennies, making it slightly scarcer than the Denver issue. Historically, San Francisco coins from this era often show weaker strikes, particularly in Lincoln's hair and the wheat lines on the reverse. Because of this, sharply struck examples are especially prized. A typical circulated 1920 might sell for $10 to $40 depending on wear. However, high-grade coins are genuinely scarce. Mint State examples can easily reach several $100s, and fully red gems are among the most coveted wheat cents from the early 1920s. Error collectors also keep a close eye on 1920 pennies. Off-center strikes, lamination errors, and clipped planchets from this year bring strong premiums. Because fewer collectors were saving coins carefully in 1920, dramatic mint errors from this period can be surprisingly valuable when discovered. Strike quality is another critical factor. Many 1920 pennies show softness in Lincoln's beard and the wheat stalks. Coins that display crisp detail in these areas often command significant premiums because they demonstrate superior die pressure at the moment of striking. Color again plays a major role in valuation. Full red examples from 1920 are far scarcer than later wheat cents because copper naturally tones over time. A blazing red coin from this year is a true condition rarity and can command intense bidding competition among registry collectors. Collector interest in the 1920 wheat penny remains strong because it sits in the sweet spot of the series, old enough to feel historic, but still attainable for dedicated hobbyists. It also serves as a key building block for anyone assembling a complete Lincoln wheat cent set. Market trends over the past decade show steady appreciation for high-grade early wheat cents. As more collectors compete for top-quality pieces, population reports reveal just how few pristine examples actually survive. This supply and demand pressure continues to push premium coins upward in value. For anyone searching rolls or inherited collections, the 1920 penny is absolutely worth a careful look. Even moderately worn examples carry more value than many later wheat cents, and the discovery of a high-grade piece can be genuinely exciting. In the world of numismatics, both the 1945 and 1920 wheat pennies prove a powerful point. Age, condition, mint origin, and small production quirks can transform an everyday coin into a prized collectible. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just beginning the hunt, these 2 wheat cents remind us that history often hides in the smallest places, waiting to be rediscovered one coin at a time.